Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. And what can I say? Moments FC back at it again, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Another game that if it was a computer game, you would have just hit simulation because United are just not worth watching. They're just not worth watching anymore, bruv. Like shit game of football. First half, it's funny because Brentford went ahead and first half, I think at one point they had like 75% possession. United were on the back foot, got absolutely played off the park. And then second half, they just didn't come out. And United ended up getting the 2 goals in the second half. But even after the second goal, after United got the second goal, they kind of dropped back and then Brentford had the ball again. Like it was a weird game. There was no sustained real threat from either side. First half, Brentford had loads of the ball, but it never really looked like they were going to score. And then they got the goal from the set piece. And then second half, United had loads of the ball, but didn't really create nothing apart from the 2 goals, bro. It was just a dead game, innit? And it's just Ten Hag survives again another week. Like, this is what it is now. Like, you're watching the game and you're just like, you're more worried about the result than the football because the football's never going to be good. It's never going to be good under this manager. People keep talking about these players and saying how rubbish they are and X, Y, Z, but the bottom line is I keep telling people, these players keep producing moments in games to keep this guy in a job. And today was no different. The front four of Bruno, Højlund, Rashford and Rasmus Højlund, yeah, as a whole, were shit, bruv. But they all produced little moments within the game that combined for the 2 goals that we scored. Garnacho took his goal well, and the ball in from Rashford was an absolute peach. But both of them were crap today. But they still combined for that goal. And then when you look at the touch from Bruno through to Højlund and the finish from Højlund, good team goal. They combined for that. And both of them weren't good today either. Højlund's link-up play was shaky as usual. First touch was shaky. Yeah, cool. He's going to give you work rate. He's going to chase stuff. But the quality was low and Bruno was nowhere. He was nowhere for the whole game, but he managed to get on the stat sheet. This is what Man United are now. They're moments FC, bro. Who wants to watch games of football, yeah, just for moments where man can't see coherent things? Man might as well simulate the game. Sim that, run it. Teletexting. This is what Man United have become. And now this brother has just survived another week. That's just all it is. Like, this was a survival performance. This wasn't a performance that I can look at and say, you know what? We done some really good things in this game. We can take it into next game, bro. We're still the same team. We're still a counter-attacking transition team. Try and stretch the pitch, hoof it into the wings to Rashford and Garnacho. And then hoof it into the striker. The ball bounces off Højlund and that. Do you know what I mean? Xerxes comes on. We're hoofing the ball up to Xerxes, bruv. And he's flicking headers onto Rashford and that to create chances and that. You don't bring in a player of the style of Xerxes, yeah, to be playing hoofball, bro. This is the same fate, yeah, that Martial suffered when we're playing this super direct hoofball into a player that wants the ball into his feet, bro. He's suffering the same fucking way Martial suffered, bro. The same way that Sancho suffered. The same way that Ahmad's suffering and he's not playing no more. I told man at the start of the season that Amad Diallo, he has to pay his rent every day. He's getting phased out of the team. Now the manager's got his favoured front three again. Do you know what I mean? The P&P demons, bro. The low technique, high work rate players, bro. These are the kind of guys that the manager likes, bro. And we're going to continue to see that. The only positive I can take from it is the fact that Ugarte and Xerxes look like club signings and not the manager signings. So the sooner we get this guy out of here, the better. Because clearly Højlund is his signing. And Højlund signed to his agency. So Højlund's a player he wanted. Same goes with Ugarte. Ugarte's not a player he wanted. I don't even rate Ugarte like that. However, the fact that Kobe Mino's injured and he'll rather play Casemiro, who we know that he don't really like, ahead of Ugarte, that means he really didn't want Ugarte. So, I don't know. It's interesting and not very interesting at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? There weren't really any outstanding chances in the game where I can say, yo, United were putting them under bare pressure and the keeper was making loads of saves and that. It wasn't that. It was a nothing game of football. Like, if you sat through the watch along with me, big up, because you kept it entertaining, because it was a trash game of football. And that's just the honest truth. Like, Delit actually played all right. He got his head bust open, and he was off the pitch for when we conceded. But I think that him struggling, is more to do with the structure of team than his ability. I still think he's a good player, innit? I still think he's a good player, and he showed it in glimpses today. Obviously, Mazraoui came on off the bench instead of Ahmad, who was an unused substitute. Garnacho went off. Mazraoui came on, so it's good to see that he's fit. Because I wasn't sure how long he was going to be out for with whatever the heart thing he had. So that means clearly it's not that serious, which is good. But there's very little to take away from this game. It was pretty shit. I was saying before the game about Thomas Frank, because he had been linked and stuff like that. And a lot of people are going to look at this game and say, Thomas Frank's not good, based on the fact that these guys have thrown away a 1-goal lead. But first half, the shape of Brentford were very good, playing a free out the back, and they caused us loads of problems. So I think you could see structurally they were set up far better than us in the first half. They just couldn't sustain it. I don't know if they got tired or I don't know what it was. But the Brentford we saw in the second half, we didn't see in the first half. So I can see why that would be alarming for anyone that's looking at Thomas Frank and thinking, maybe he changed something or something went wrong. But I don't really know. But the first half was very concerning as a United fan, bro, because there was nothing. Second half, started well, got the goal, momentum was there, got the second goal. And both goals were just moments of quality from the individuals. Great ball from Rashford, well taken finish from Garnacho, even though his shooting as a whole and his finishing was poor for the game. And then same with Højlund, really. In and out the game, not really doing nothing. Bruno was nowhere. The ball, I think it was Eriksen. Eriksen fizzed it into Bruno, touch around the corner to Rasmus, and a good dinked finish. And both of the goals showed bits of quality that we know that we have in the team. But it's not consistent. No consistent attacking patterns apart from just hoofing the ball. And this is why we can't sustain pressure on teams. We're awful to watch and we're very easy to play against. Very easy. The only thing that I know Man United are going to do is send their wide players up and hoof it, bruv. And if this is what we're doing in the third season of this manager, no thank you. So, yeah, bro. I know there'll be people that will be saying, good performance, we played well, X, Y. We didn't. But we got the job. We got the job done. And United have kind of just been stuttering over the line for the last... pretty much since we won the League Cup. I don't think we've played well consistently as a team since we won the League Cup in our first season. Do you know what I mean? I think we lost 7-0 shortly after that. And I don't think we've recovered as a football team. I think we're so bad that people will be digging for positives in this game when there isn't really any. So, as much as people want to look at these players individually, like people in the chat were saying, Man United are a mid-table team. These are not mid-table players. The likes of Cass Eriksen in midfield, cool, they're not the most mobile, but there's quality there. Dallo, you know what I'm saying? There's quality there. Johnny Evans, steady Eddie, you know what you're going to get. Lissandro at left back didn't really get exposed because Brentford don't really have wide players that are going to run at you. It's a different kind of threat. So we got away with that today. But this is not a mid-table team. This is a Man United team playing at about 30% of their true capabilities, but they still have enough quality and moments to do things. But if this Man United team was a genuine mid-table quality team, they would be in a relegation zone right now, bro, because the shape of this team, with and without the ball, leaves a lot to be desired, I'll be real. So, I don't know. It was one of them nothing games. Like, I genuinely don't feel anything watching this football team. There's nothing to feel, bro. It's just pure numbness. You can't even really celebrate a good goal because it's like, what's the point? We're at a stage now where the manager can't turn this around. He's incapable. We're not playing good football, sustained football. There's just moments. There's been moments for 2 years. It's not going to change. Like, I just need to be put out of my misery right now. That's it. We're not going to play good football under this manager. We're not going to win consistently. Like, we get a win today. Don't be surprised if man lose in a week. Do you know what I mean? It's not a thing where we're like, oh, you have United turn the corner, we're going to build up some momentum. There's no chance of building momentum. Because in order to build momentum, you need to have consistency somewhere. We don't have consistency in team selection, injuries or no injuries. This guy's talking about rotation. We don't have consistency in build up from the back. Sometimes the keeper's playing out to feet. Most of the time he's hoofing it long. We don't have consistency in playing into or through the midfield. There's no consistent attacking shapes. In the first half, we thought that we were playing a 4-4-2 because Rashford was playing up front with Rasmus. Then in the second half, he gets his assist from playing off the right wing and dropping a good ball into Garnacho. So we're not even setting up on and off the ball consistently in the same way. There's nothing consistent about this Man United team. And because of that, you can't relax with these lot. So yeah, it was just another nothing game. Like, it was complete dross, but United got the result. Do you know what I mean? Good for them. Do you know what I mean? And we just move on to the next game, guys. But very little pleasure can be taken from watching these guys at the moment because they're flipping awful. And I don't care how people feel about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm at a point now where I can't celebrate victories in good faith, bruv. Because you know a defeat's just round the corner. And also, what we're doing is not sustainable and it's not conducive to the betterment of the club long term. So, do you know what I mean? Emotionally, I'm fully disengaged. I'm fully disengaged from this football.